Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first video I'm going to be putting out in this channel, and this channel is going to be about Adopt Me. So don't mind if I kind of seem a bit nervous or whatever. Like, this is new. This is new to me. Today I wanted to make a video talking about some tips I have for Adopt Me. I wanted to make this video to give tips because I know that there are a lot of people that are starting Adopt Me. I mean, there are new players coming to Adopt Me all year round, and so I know that there are quite a few videos out there that do tips and stuff, but I thought I would share some that maybe you haven't heard before. I'm sorry if you have heard of them before, but I hope that they still help you because they certainly helped me. I will say that I have spent money on this game, and that can certainly help with, getting pets you want because you can buy the Robux pets. However, I am going to try and give you for the people that don't spend Robux or can't buy Robux, I'm gonna try and make this as friendly as possible to you guys. So let's just get into it. The first tip that I have: try and get the 2x pet certificate. Now, this does cost Robux, and I am aware that it is kind of hard to get if you do not have Robux available, but I would suggest trying to trade for it because it will help so much in trying to make megas, neons, and just getting age up potions in general. It will be an absolute lifesaver, and I am probably going to be doing a giveaway for a 2x pet certificate if you guys want, but obviously I might do it in a couple videos time, that we can have 2 pets out, and I really recommend that you try and get the certificate if you can do. For my next tip, when people start out, I always recommend making commons of megas of commons, or whatever way round, I don't know, but always prioritize making megas that are quite easy to make. So I'd recommend making specifically commons that are going to be kind of out of game. So for example, a mega mouse isn't going to have as much value as, say, a ground sloth, because the ground sloth is out of game. So I'd recommend trading for things that are out of game in the common area. You will have to trade for them, so you might trade 5 mice from the cracked egg for a ground sloth, or you could do it that way. Another way is that you could obviously use the moon egg and stuff, like the eggs that are in the gumball machine, and make megas of those, because a lot of the time they are going to be going out of game eventually. So hold on, where are my moon eggs? Okay, yeah, so there is going to be commons in there that you can make mega, and a lot of the time, if the commons are really cute, then they will have a level of value that you then can trade for, say, a legendary or a couple of legendaries. So that's what I always recommend, is people make megas of commons, then trade those up. It might not seem as quickly as you think it is, obviously, because megas take time, but you will eventually get that, and you will be able to get neon legendaries if you trade a couple of common megas for a neon legendary. And I mean a low tier neon legendary, but it is definitely worth doing, in my opinion. The way that it runs is so cute. I am currently trying to make a neon sakura spirit, which I am on my way doing right now. I have 4 age up potions. I need 40. 40 is the amount that it takes to make a neon legendary, so just keep that in mind. and you literally don't really need anything in order to make a neon legendary. You do of course need 4 legendaries, but then you just need a fully aged up pet or 2, depending if you have the 2 times pet certificate, and then you just level them up and you get age potions. 40 is in total of how many you need to make a neon legendary, but then you can trade that neon legendary for other such things as well. So number 3 is for the walking and driving task, use the bouncy castle. By this I mean, say if my pet here had a walking task, right? I would hold the pet and I would go on here and just go AFK, because all you need to do is move around in some capacity to get the task done. So it doesn't matter what way I'm moving, as long as I'm moving, then that's all that matters. And yeah, so for the driving one, all you really need to do is ride your pet and then also go on the bouncy castle, and it shouldn't take longer than like 30 seconds, and then you've finished, it's such a good tip. I can't remember the person I got the tip from, but I will include her username. It is such a good tip because running around in circles can sometimes be, even though it's kind of like, well, you're just running around in circles, it can be kind of like demotivating as well, because you're having to constantly like dodge out of the way of things, and it's really helpful for me. I found that it's really helpful and it's kind of like not a task you need to put too much thought into it. My 4th tip is, when you do not have a lot of pets, do not beg. I know this might seem weird because I'm not someone that doesn't have pets, but it honestly puts people off wanting to give you pets. Begging, I personally don't really like. I get that you want to have sympathy for not having many pets, and sure, sometimes I will give a rare or a rare to someone if they seem nice and stuff, but I believe that making megas in this game, especially common megas, is doable, and it's honestly just gonna give people a bad taste in their mouth. Begging, a lot of the time it doesn't work, and it can be kind of, I don't know, I just don't like the idea of, a lot of people will sit like in this, hold on, actions, they'll do this, they'll sit down like this, and they'll dress all poor, and they'll be like, I'm poor, come give me pets. And it's like, you know what you could do instead of spending time sat on the floor being sad? You could be making a mega mouse, you could be making a mega dog, you could be making so many other megas, like a mega urchin. Loads of people love mega urchins, and they're only a common, and they're very easy to trade for. So there are many other things that you can get, instead of just sitting down and being sad about things, you know? So I always recommend don't beg when you are trying to get pets, because it just doesn't work. And especially when you trade people and say, hey, have you got a pet? Can I have it for free? I get that you really, really want it, but there are different ways how you can get it, and it really just puts people off, and it's not very nice. Another tip when it comes to trading is, don't sound too excited when you are really happy with a trade. So, for example, if I traded my Dalmatian for a neon balloon uni, I know that's very unrealistic, but let's just say for that example, I would be really happy because I would just have a normal Dalmatian, and I'm trading it for a neon balloon uni, which is kind of classed as, I guess, exotic or something. I don't know. I don't really... the word exotic just doesn't make sense to me, but anyway. And so I will of course be really excited, but I will not let them know that I'm excited. Because a lot of the time when you say, oh my god, thank you so much, oh my god, it's going to make them second guess, and they're going to think, maybe I'm doing a bad thing, maybe I'm not, maybe this isn't fair. And I get that can kind of seem a bit like malicious and stuff, but trust me, it isn't, because at the end of the day, they can check values, they can check value sites if they want to, but also you really want to have the pet as well. So just make sure that you are kind of nonchalant, like indifferent during the trade, so you don't kind of come across as, again, begging. And yeah, so, and especially if, and also don't say please in the chat. I know that sounds weird, but when you are doing a trade and someone gives an offer and they say please, it kind of sounds sketchy to me. Like, hey, you really want this pet, why are you saying please if the offer is like fair, if you know what I mean. Anyway, just don't say please whilst doing a trade, like, because that also classes as like begging and stuff, and that can put people off. So yeah, that is my fifth tip? I don't know. That's one tip down. My other tip is to build homes for pets. Now, this tip is incredibly tricky sometimes. I've managed to get some trades from doing homes up before. I remember doing a gingerbread house up and I got a mega ostrich for it, but I feel like I probably should have. I have a habit of undervaluing my houses because a lot of the time houses don't really have a set value, and so it can be kind of weird trying to find someone that will do something that you want them to do, like give you an offer that you would like. Oh, this was the wrong one. So with building homes, I suggest you look at a load of other people's homes and styles and get to know them. This is one of my homes that I think I was gonna trade, but I ended up not doing for some reason. But as you can see, this is very much coquette and very like cobwebs up here. I don't know why I added cobwebs, but this is very much a cute vibe. I don't know what value I would place on this home. Always have a set value for your home so you know what to kind of look for, especially if you have spent a lot of books as well. I don't know how much I've spent on this house, I can't remember. I also suggest kind of using other platforms to sort of show your skills. This was a build that I was going to do, and then I kind of lost interest because these flowers weren't centered, and then I couldn't get the flowers centered, and then it messed me up. And this is supposed to be Studio Ghibli inspired, by the way, so yeah, I would suggest trying loads of different styles, seeing loads of different tips and tricks. I would say that it can be very, very demotivating when you are trying to find someone to trade your house to, because a lot of people will just trade like commons for it and just totally disregard the time and effort it takes. Another thing you have to be careful of course, for people that are buying houses or are trading for houses, is that people can clone houses, and that's another thing you have to be careful of, because then the value of that house does drop. So I would always make double sure that the person that does own the house has not just copied and pasted it, if that makes sense. Because I don't know how they do it, but I think it's supposed to be some kind of script thing. I don't know whether they directly copy it and paste it. I don't know, but make sure you're careful with the houses that you trade and are trading for. By the way, if you do want to know my Roblox username, it is iluvlynk. Link isn't my real name. Link is just named after Link from The Legend of Zelda. You don't spell it like that. I don't know why I spelled it like that, but yeah, basically that is where the name Link is from. Now, this is going to be a tip for people that are able to like spend money on this game. And I know that it's not a lot of, and I know that there are a lot of people that do not spend money on this game or cannot spend money on this game, and this is absolutely fine. So my tip would be, if you are going to get Robux pets, is that you save age up potions for the Robux pets, specifically the 1000 Robux pets. A lot of the times, but of course be kind of wise, because I know that the Gaelic Fae, they were last events? Yeah, they were last events Robux pet, but I didn't spend my Robux on them because I felt like they've of course still got value, but I didn't think that they were probably a good investment in terms of I don't know. There are some pets that are hit and miss. For example, bat dragons, they are always going to be a kind of pet that will have some value because it is a bat dragon. However, and also the Halloween pets, the Halloween 1000 pet, Robux pet, always seems to have some sort of value. You can see the last few pets from the Halloween update have still got some value to them. So I would suggest that spending your Robux, if you were to get one or enough to make a neon, you save age up potions, because then you can obviously make it neon straight away, get some really good, really good megas for it, and even neons. And even neons as well. I remember when I remember it was 2 times weekends, and I made a fairy bat dragon, a neon fairy bat dragon, and I traded that for a mega shrew and a mega hare, and I'm not kidding. It was crazy. I made crazy value, but I would suggest, if you are capable of purchasing the pets, I would recommend definitely trying to get the pets that seem to have preppy value. For example, the Cupid Dragon. The Cupid Dragon, I think, still has value and is still quite cute. So I'd recommend getting, I don't know whether they're going to continue doing the Valentine updates, but I'd recommend getting, obviously make a judgment, because make a judgment on how cute the pet is, make a judgment on whether it's a bat dragon, make a judgment on, just how decent the pet will be, and an estimate to how much value it is gonna maintain, basically. And yeah, that is my tips. So sorry if this video is kind of a bit everywhere. This is just one of these random videos that I'm putting out there real quick for everyone to watch if they want to. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next Adopt Me video. I'm really excited because this is my first video. Yay! And I've got a friend next to me. Okay, bye.